My name's Steve Broom. I'm the Operations Director of Frank Allart Company. I've been here 27 years, and in that time we've implemented a lot more control over production. And over probably the last 10 years, we've changed our outlook on what we manufacture. So what we're actually now doing is doing a lot more bespoke work, looking at things for specific projects. We started off with a sales order package, and we had a scheduling package, and what we were finding with that is that it was fine to begin with, but as we diversified and did more and more products, we were losing traceability, except for the products. So about 3 or 4 years ago, I started speaking to Visdata about looking at putting a shop floor data capture in as a bolt-on to their existing modules, and we've done a lot of work. We actually got it into the factory probably the tail end of last year, but there was a good two to 3 years work building it up. What we found with our system is we've got a lot of jobs out there, but we also had a lot of operations which were incorrect. So to first of all get that correct before we can even start looking at the shop floor data capture system, we had to deal with Visdata to get a new costing module near enough to actually enable us to amend operations quickly and easier than we were, and that was the first phase of where we are. One of our main things was traceability, and also updating the system immediately, so it gave us access to information really, and more accurate information than we were having at the time. To gather the information on the factory, we've put in touchscreen PCs with a scanner system, and we have barcodes on all the works orders. So as soon as they scan a works order, it goes through an interface, and the information is directly into the main Visdata Gould system. So sales have got information straight away of where a job is in the factory. One of the big things that the shop floor data capture has helped us with is the tracing or the information that we're getting on shortages. We can actually get to the supplier quicker, and the visual information that is available on the screen to the whole factory now, rather than just the individual up in the offices. So and having six or seven screens down in the factory and involving the people down there has helped a hell of a lot with them to actually buy into the system as well. One of the modules that we spoke about 18 months ago is a status reporting module, which what we found is very, very helpful, because what it generates daily reports that gives us information on anything really that's in Trojan. So it's very bespoke to us, but we've got things like what we've produced that day, etc., etc. We also then have links into to customers. So we send them outstanding orders. We send them on the same day that we've dispatched something. We'll send them a dispatch list telling them exactly what they've had that day, rather than them having to wait for the transport company to arrive. So that's all generated through an email. So there's absolutely no. It's a seamless link, and it's a very simple thing that you can have written for various things for your own company. The other thing we've done is we've put a big screen up in the sales office, giving them information on the daily sales, the monthly sales, and we've got targets on there, which has created quite a lot of healthy banter and fun with the shop floor. They're obviously showing a lot more interest, and that's something that I want to develop and get that information onto the factory floor as well, rather than the offices. We started working with Visdata back in 2000, and what we found them very, very helpful. What we liked about them is they're not a big company that you're dealing with everyone on a personal level, rather than you can pick up a phone, you know who you're going to be speaking to at the end of the line, and their reactions to your problems are swift. I found them very flexible because they're approachable, and they're not out of people's price bracket for companies our size to actually implement systems like this, where you can go off and you can get a manufacturing system and pay the earth for it and throw away probably 90% of what's in that package. What I find with Visdata is they can actually tail the product to your needs. So if there's modules you're not going to use, then you don't end up paying for them. But I would recommend them to manufacturing.
Visdata have really enjoyed working with Frank Allart. They're a traditional British manufacturer, and although they're traditional in a lot of their products, high quality products, what we found is that they actually are quite innovative when it comes to IT and driving the business forward. Steve really has harnessed the principle of having data delivered to the appropriate people in a timely fashion, and that's helped him move the business. The business does a lot of small batches, and usually a lot of them are bespoke, so it's important for him to know what's happening out on the shop floor.